I see that Mortal Kombat has decided to follow in the footsteps of Capcom. Because Capcom's been doing good, you know. They dropped the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection a few years ago. You know how much I love that game. A lot of people, the diehards, hated that shit. They really hated that game. And that's because that game used the very first version of every arcade game that they had there, you know. The very first vanilla versions of every game, not the updated patch version. So a lot of those games were busted, broken. There was a version of Street Fighter 3 that wasn't even tournament friendly apparently, so a lot of people were angry at that. But what pissed people off the most was the netcode. The netcode was doo-doo garbage apparently, and that's a sad thing to hear. Me, I'm just glad that I own every Street Fighter game produced by Capcom ever. All I need is accept the movie, but come on now. I'm just waiting for that Eureka collection so I could say I got the entire Street Fighter series with the Street Fighter EX series, right? The Street Fighter games that weren't produced by Capcom. Alright, we just need those re-released instead of just using emulation to play them. But, no, I'm glad. I'm still, like, grateful just to be able to just run and just play every Street Fighter game, including the disgusting Street Fighter 1, you know? Street Fighter 1, no one ever talks about that, you know? Well, now they do, but I remember one day I was like, you know, I never hear about Street Fighter 1. I was young. I was like, I always hear about Street Fighter 2, Alpha, and 3. And I looked it up on Google. Oh, God. Was I in for a rude awakening of what came before? And then I got it in my hands, and it was even worse than what I saw. It was disgusting, you know? I only play that with friends now. I'll never go out of my way to play that single player. You know, that's a waste of my time and a waste of my life clock to play something like that, you know? Fatal Fury 1 is another game I'll probably never touch. But Street Fighter 1 has an excuse to be disgusting. Fatal Fury 1 does not. Because that came after Street Fighter 2, a competent fighting game. But let's not go into bashing those games, you know? We got the Capcom Fighting Collection 1, 2, and the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. Capcom, they're definitely under new management. Obviously, I didn't see the transformations of the company outside of the Street Fighter perspective. I just saw the end of Street Fighter 5 change, right, after they got rid of Ono. Ono, I think he added, did he add the boss characters? Was he a part of the season that added the boss characters like Gil and stuff like that? I think he was. But right after that, you already saw the taste of the people who came after him. Because they added freaking Akira from rival schools out of nowhere. You know, they just added a bunch of like out of left field characters that no one would have seen coming. Another Street Fighter 3 character to give you Oro. Like, they were really digging into the box. And they were listening to people. We said, what? You said you want the old games back? Alright, bet. We got the Capcom Fighting Collection 1. Oh. 2. Oh. And a Marvel one. There's another one coming. I can smell it. I don't know when it's coming, but it's got to be a PlayStation 1 era collection. Because Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is the Sega Dreamcast collection. And that's not even like their entire gallery of Dreamcast fighting games, because Fighting Collection 2 didn't have Tech Romancer. Now, if they added as DLC, that would be disgusting. Like, imagine adding an entire game as DLC. It's possible. It's possible they could do that. They could do that. That'd be awesome. Mortal Kombat's following in their footsteps. Let's see how far they go in terms of the amount of games that they add. It's about damn time. Oh.
Yeah, guys in their 20s. What kind of video game are they gonna make? We knew that there was something special going on. Fight!
They got digital clips? So the netcode's confirmed to be godlike then. Good choice. Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, 3, Ultimate 3, okay. Fatality. Okay. Trilogy, okay, 4. Oh, what? What? Why? Wait. What? What? Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Fatality.
Alright, Trilogy. 4. Mortal Kombat 1 for the Game Boy Advance. Okay. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance for the handheld. That's the Game Boy? They put it on the Game Boy? Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. What the hell is that? What is that? What is that? Tournament Edition? It just looks like Deadly Alliance again for the Game Boy. Oh, Mythology Sub-Zero and Special Forces. Okay. And that's not all. What's next? PS2 era. PS2 era. PS2 era. Come on.
The freedom that we were given
this is all they can
to
handle.
create that game, in hindsight, was incredible.
I'm going for that Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Fatal. Okay. That's cool. Online, of course. Rollback netcode. Had to be. Naturally. Okay. That's cool. Okay, that's cool. Wait, what was that? That was black and white. That doesn't look like the Game Boy version.
Get over here! Flawless.
Legacy collection. Oh, I see what they did. Secret characters. That was noob. So it seems to be with this one, this really is just a classic Mortal Kombat collection. The only reason why they added Deadly Alliance is because it was the handheld version, which is pretty much crap tier. You know, it was on a Game Boy, which was, the Game Boy was just a little bit more powerful than a Super Nintendo, and they had a lot of Mortal Kombat games on a Super Nintendo. So I respect them for going that far. They didn't even have to do that, you know? Like, they could have just left it at, Mortal Kombat 4 as a, you know, final game, I guess, and just put the last two mythologies and Special Forces. But they're like, let's give them the handheld version of Deadly Alliance, at least. Game Boy games, let's give them all the Game Boy games. That's pretty respectable. I saw one that looked black and white, though. Like, I guess it's not just Game Boy Advance. They have regular Game Boy versions or something, like, or whatever other handhelds they had it on. There might be more versions that they didn't show in the trailer. See, I never heard of Tournament Edition, but that just looks like another PS2 era Game Boy, you know, port. Alright, I can't hate that much. Because you get all these classics, you get 1, 2, and 3. When was the last time these were available? I don't even think 3 and Ultimate 3 are available, but I think these two, not even, no, I think they were. There was a collection that dropped during the PS3 era, right? So, these are probably available. But that was like 2 console generations ago, though. It's a respectable collection. We're probably going to make a PS2 collection separate from this. That's a smart move to make. Instead of just, you know, letting everything out here. That's smart. I respect that. Okay. Going backwards, PS4, Xbox One. Going back to the old consoles. Might as well, right? These are just old games. I like how, like, the only games that are coming out for PS4 these days. No, there's still cross-gen games coming out, right? There's still cross-gen games coming out. But the classic collections, you might as well make them cross-gen. It makes sense. Alright. I'm looking forward to this one. Coming soon. No date yet. Okay.